anybody in here was a student in that class? How was it?
It is the reason I went to that school.
The reason you went to that school. Have another one back there. So what if that didn't happen? Where would you be today? Kind of a key question there. Me, I'm an ex-basketball coach, as Travis said. I'm getting ready to start my 39th year of teaching in the classroom, my 29th year at Westlake High School. So, I need my notes. I'm not like Michael, of course, none of the questions I remember here. I'm showing all my tricks as a teacher here. So, no kickoff. No West Coast products. No Andy Martin. No Citrus Service. No New England Conference. No Michael Corsetto, a close personal friend of mine. No Travis Norris. What would Travis have done at Westlake High School? The most critical question. That's so easy. No Chief Delphi. Can you imagine the world without a Chief Delphi? So what if? That's a question you probably asked someday at some point and you didn't realize it. Okay. Do that. I think I can. As a teacher, my job is to worry about the students who come through my door. Dean and I had this conversation 2 years ago. I run multiple teams. And so my job is to make them have a connection. Robotics provides a great opportunity to do that in so many different aspects. I just heard this morning, met a new mentor, talking about she does this, she finds this, and she teaches that child. That was 30 seconds, 1 minute into a conversation in this room today. So as we take and start to move forward in the conversation, today, I appreciate the words from the speakers already. I want to talk about student experience. Student experience is about you. I am honored to be chosen to be on the Woodie Flowers group. Where's Liz? Just got back from, I was in Boston 2 weeks ago. We were in New Hampshire meeting with First Headquarters and to get to sit in the room with icons of the industry. People that I just absolutely have looked up to and used as inspiration and had daily conversations with for a couple days. The conversation, I encourage you to visit with Liz. The conversation in our meetings this summer and our meetings with First was about the importance of mentors. And you heard it today already. Student experience is about you. So I want to talk to you first, tell you a little bit about student experience from my point of view as an educator, because I'm not a programmer. I'm not electronics. I can run the laser. I can use the drill press. I can weld. I built stock trailers and I built greenhouses. My dad was an ag teacher, and I showed stock animals. But to build robots, to program robots, I don't have to do that. I learned early on in my career as a teacher, I can delegate, and I can let other people who have that passion, have that expertise that I will never have to have. And so I have professionals that come into my building and volunteer with me. And my job is to manage the resources. So I've had 9 students graduate or in attendance or graduated from WPI from our program. All kinds of different things. But mentors, you are critical. So my conversation today is going to be with you, and then I'm going to tell you how we try to build on some student experiences. Now, the model you take away today, I met Michael Corsetto probably during COVID. Shut down. Had no interactions with Michael previously other than passing him a world champs. So I reached out and said, we're going to start a program called First and Focus. And we had a conversation with their team. And that became an extended conversation with multiple Zoom meetings and an interview that was supposed to be YouTube and some things. And I started looking at their model. It's like they do something different than we do, and I can never do that. Lord was a teammate of ours at World Champs one year. Their teacher was talking about going to multiple team models and having all these students do these things. And I looked at them like, I can't do that in Texas. I can't do that. So I want to challenge you, don't try to recreate the 2-4-6-8 model. Don't try to create the 33-10 model. Don't try to recreate the 118 model. Don't try to create the 190 model. Because you can't do it where you are. You have to have all the pieces in place if you want to recreate one of those. If you started or worked with more than one team, raise your hand. Tosh, how many teams?
This is my 7th.
Are they all the same? They're all like going to the grocery store and you look up and your wife tells you to buy some cucumbers. And you go to the vegetable aisle like, oh man, which one do I choose? She just told me to bring over a cucumber. Is that true?
Yeah.
Everyone's like a different cucumber. So, I want to challenge you to not think that you have to live within your space and try to recreate what somebody else is doing. Because it's very hard to do that. And it's not going to happen. So student experience in first robotics. Dave, I got a question for you. Go ahead. Do you have an open mind?
Like what?
Do you have an open mind?
Yeah, I think so.
How many conversations have you and I had?
Maybe in total, half a dozen.
Are you a little bit worried about the question? Imagine, you just got married a year and a half ago. You're divorced, you have a child, 4th grader. Your new spouse has a child, 6th grader. You just started your master's degree program of going to school to get your master's in education and administration. You're going to school to take 12 hours during the summer, and in the fall semester, you're going to be expected to take 2 college courses. One that's being hosted at your high school, and one that's being hosted at a university 45 minutes away. And your principal calls, ring, 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 August 1st. By the way, Monday, we start school in Texas. Teachers start school Monday. So imagine this last Monday, getting that call a week before school starts. And Linda Raleigh, my principal, says, Norman, do you have an open mind? 3 months prior, I told my assistant principal, I'm tired of doing what I've been doing. I've been teaching physical science for years. I coached basketball for years, then I did student counseling. So I want to do something new. I'm tired of teaching freshmen. So I was going to teach seniors physics. So be careful what you ask for, because I told my principal, I want to do something new. And Linda Raleigh calls me and says, Norman, do you have an open mind? I was part of a group wanted to create a successful vision of what we thought successful graduates of our high school would be like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road. Now, Linda came from Clear Creek ISD. Anybody know what team is in Clear Creek ISD?
118.
118, the Romanauts. So Linda knew what FIRST Robotics was. By the way, her husband's a space artist. If you saw any art for about 25 years there, her husband probably did about 80% of the art that was depicting astronauts on the moon and astronauts on Mars. So she knew what engineering and robotics and being associated with that. So we went to California. We went to Howard High School, Spider. We went to Gunn High School. We went to High Tech High, Holy Cows. Those were 3 of the 6 schools we visited. And we were there the day after, you old schools remember the day of creating your robot and shipping it. What did your shop look like on Wednesday after that Tuesday? Was there anybody in the shop? Did it look like a mess? So we sure these, I'm like, wait, there's nobody here. So we came home and we started 2 programs, one called Independent Study Mentorship and one was robotics. And they had a physics teacher, Travis, you have Mr. Hart?
Yeah, he's gone.
Your sister, Travis' sister was on our rookie year team. Mr. Harper was going to teach was the physics teacher, AP Physics. He was going to lead the robotics program, and 3 weeks before school starts, he leaves. Thus, the phone call. Norman, you have an open mind. I've never read a CNC. I've never done SolidWorks. I've never programmed. I've never wired. We had no tools. We had no shop. I had a new life of a year, 2 elementary middle schoolers going to grad school, and I said, yes, I have an open mind. And she says, well, I'd like you to start the robotics program. How naive I was. I had no shop. Great English there. I had no tools. I had no mentors. I had met none of the kids. Dan Harper had recruited all the students. It was going to be an extension of Physics BC. They were going to do electronics and programming with Lego blocks and B-bots. So I go into class the first day, being the naive person I am. But I'm a little bit audacious, I'll be absolutely honest with you. I'm an absolute believer that you got to put it out there. There's an accountability to putting things out. I believe the universe speaks to you and gives you what you ask within reason. I think you have to visualize it, and I think you have to recruit others to get in board and be on it with you and grab that passion, that vision. So I went into the first day class, 35 seniors, 1 junior. We had 1 student, the freshman, who showed up at the first meeting after school. And so I told them, I said, we're going to do FIRST Robotics. We're going to go to Houston to the Lone Star Regional in April. And we're going to win Rookie All-Star. And we're going to go to World Champs in Atlanta. Travis's sister was in that class. I've never seen an varsity in person. I've never been to a contest. I had no mentors, no tools, no shop. We had paid registration. We registered our team and we were 2468 for 3 months. It took us 3 months to realize we had 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm a real bright cookie. As mentors and STEM teachers, there's times we have to be vulnerable. We have to show we're human. And this is one of those times. robotics. Travis is. We did best robotics that year. I went to the organizers and we want to do it. He says, well, we're all full up. We have 24 teams, we have 24 kids. If somebody drops out, I'll call you and let you know. Okay. We didn't go to kickoff. 6 weeks bill season, just like first. Original thought. 11 days after kickoff, Greg Young calls me this morning. He still want to do the contest? Sure. We go to contest. Town in that team in Austin, the Purple Haze, 418. They were state champions for Texas that year. At state championship, they were scoring 178 points per match in that contest. We went to Aikens High School in Austin, and we scored 5 points the entire day. We had 3 points of penalties. One, we didn't put a battery in. Should have reached in to put the battery in. One, the robot drove out of the field. And the only 2 points we scored were driving down a ramp. Like, how hard was that? If we do that 5 times, at least get 5 points. We tied dead last with 3 of the teams. I went to school on Monday. I had one of the kids ask me, do you think you were a little bold to say we're going to be all-star? The best thing in the world for us was we got dead last. Because we got to celebrate what we accomplished. We failed miserably, which is okay. We went to Houston. We were the highest rookie seed, number 4. We were the number 3 alliance captain. And we won Rookie All-Star. Little did I know, how, when school started, how naive I was. I walked into the venue for the first time, the Merrill Center. We drive by the Merrill Center every time we go to Houston. Travis has probably heard it a half a dozen times. Every time we drive by there, we're on the bus, I get on the microphone. Hey guys, look, right over there, there's the Merrill Center. That's where it all started for us. That's a special place for me. My parents got to come watch me. My dad was a lifetime teacher. My mother was a lifetime teacher. My dad was an ag teacher, showed kids how to grow stock animals and build greenhouses and those things. What I'm doing as a robotics coach is very similar to what he did as an ag teacher. It's just a different venue. I was a basketball coach for 20 years. I coached tennis. I was the Texas High School Coaches Association Tennis Coach of the Year for Texas. I was student council supervisor of the year for Texas. All those successes occurred because I had great people around me. It wasn't because of more important. It was because I had great people around me, putting myself in a great position. The Merrill Center, we walked in the door, and I was like, holy cow. My lead mentor, Scott McMahon, who was the lead architect on the Jaguar motor controller that spring. Joe Hirschberger, who's part of the, still to this day, on the first control system, those were my 2 lead mentors. We walked in and Scott walked over to the inspection station. They said, here's your inspection report, and none of us had even looked at it before we got to turn. My drivers left their buttons in the hotel, and I went out to the bus and drove back to the hotel. And I got back to the venue, and Scott McMahon met me at the door and said, you're not coming in. It's the first time one of my mentors shouted. He said, you have more important things to do. Anybody can drive to the hotel and pick up buttons. You have an accountability and a responsibility to do the things that you need to do. And you need to trust others. Keyword, trust. And you need to assign them to those things. That first tournament was a huge learning experience for us in so many ways. We went from rookie all-star to world champs, and Award teacher, very few people in their life ever get to start something. It's a huge accomplishment. I got to start robotics at Westlake High School. I got to start the engineering. We didn't teach an engineering class at that time. I got to start the history of engineering at our school. So I'm very fortunate to do that. Our program was founded in 2008. 35 students. Today, we have 128 students on 3 FRC teams in a single high school. About 15 mentors. 2011, we won our first student award. David Weiser had a passion. That was low emotion. And we built the worst contraption in the world for the contest. We made a carbon fiber flipper on a differential twisting arm. Pick up something and sat flat on the ground. David forgot to order belts. David paid $119.22 to have the belts overnight shipped from McMaster to his house so he could build the arm on the Saturday before bag day, before crate day. Accountability, responsibility, ownership. We got San Antonio, Lone Star Regional. We didn't have a mini block that year. We tried. Didn't get it. We scored no more than 2 logos per match. We put the carbon fiber flipper on with plastic molds because we were afraid to drive to the wall, break it off. And sure enough, the first 3 matches, guess what we did the first 3 matches? We drove in the wall and broke the flipper off. Now we put plastic screws in there because that was a design decision. We made the playoffs and we played 148. They probably had my all-time favorite robot first that year. And we held them to the lowest score possible the entire year. That's what we celebrated. We found something to celebrate. We weren't going to let them just kick our butt. We weren't just going to let them score at will. So we pushed notes, or we pushed the tubes into our protected area where they couldn't get them, and then we fought them to try to get them to the area. And after the game was over, the match was over, we were so excited because of what we've done. The number 8 robot picked us. The only reason they picked us is because we helped them. And the match, their last match of the day, they fried their electronics. So they didn't have a robot. So it ended up being us picked by the number 8 robot. They had no scouting data. We kind of did. So we were just such a bad alliance. It was so much fun to hold 148 to the lowest scoring match of the year. 2013. First blue banner for us was not a blue banner in academia. It is now. I won Woodie Flowers at Hub City. Regional tournament. I told this story last week at the Woodie Flowers Conference. It was the inaugural event of the Lubbock Regional. And Woodie Flowers gave me my Woodie Flowers. What an incredible honor for me to get to receive from such an amazing like him that didn't know me, to do that to me was just a huge, huge statement. We won chairmans at the same tournament. 2 weeks later, we go to San Antonio and we won the region. At that time, we had 6 FTC teams. Our program was built, freshmen, sophomores did FTC, juniors and seniors did FRC. The Allen Regional held both tournaments at the same time, FTC and FRC. I had 3 of the 4 FTC teams in the finals, playing each other, so I couldn't lose. And then we won the tournament, and one of my FTC teams won the Inspire Award. Pretty crazy weekend for our team. Had all these freshmen there that were watching us on the FRC field. And I didn't realize what it meant that day. This is where vision and expectations and ownership and inspiration, these are all things about student experience. Michael Henderson was a freshman on that team. And Michael was getting ready to graduate his senior year, 4 years later. And it's 3 days before graduation, and I'm talking, I said, Michael, what are you looking forward to most about graduating from high school and operation? I'm talking about doing automotive engineering science. What stands out to you the most about high school? Getting to see y'all win the Alamo Regional as a freshman. I said, yeah, that was a pretty cool day. That was our first blue banner for winning a tournament. This was a shocking statement. Michael says, no, it wasn't. I said, yeah, it was. I said, pull up blue lines. Look. So he goes and looks at blue. He didn't believe me. He goes and looks like, oh God, it is your first tournament. You won the blue banner. He said, we all thought that was the norm. We thought that was the expectation. So living up to standards and having the older students working with you, being leaders and being examples and being inspiration was a huge role for the younger students. Again, student experience, ownership, passion, example, expectations. Those are things that were part of that weekend. As we move forward, time moved on. Our program continued to win on the field and off the field. When I say off the field, I mean grow. We moved from one room, it was basically a storage room, to a 15 by 30 room. It was our classroom, to a 15 by 30 shop. We had 6 FTC teams and one FRC team working out those 2 rooms. We checked out the cafeteria every night. We moved in the hallways. We had a whole closet full of tables and storage things. We'd move out, move in. You've all been there. You've done that. Then we helped get a bond for the school. We got a new room, had a shop, had a classroom, had about 8,000 square feet. It was ours, but we were 300 yards from the main campus, and that's where we had class every day. So Travis got soaking wet, going to class, walking back and forth in the rain. Except he was not there, didn't keep her the main campus. So we continue to grow. 2019, Texas districts came. I was the biggest proponent of districts in Texas. I'm an ex-basketball coach. How do you win? How do you win? Play once or play twice? Play twice. Better, right? Play 45 times. Texas high school football. 10 regular season football games, and you go to playoffs. If you get a state championship, you play 17. Imagine if a team goes to the state championship 3 years in a row. How many extra seasons do those high school kids have in a year? In their high school career, they get almost 2 full seasons in a single year. I was the first team in Austin to go to 2 tournaments. Our 2020, we started Team Apprentice. We went to one tournament, built an everybody. We were successful. My two teams played each other in the semifinals. We won the tournament 2-4-6-8. We won chairman. We won a blue banner. My apprentice team won the Autonomous Award. Got to play with Paul Copioli Blackhawk. They got to pick Blackhawk, and Paul Copioli is their partner. We come home, and 2 weeks later, COVID hits. What did most teams do during COVID? Struggle city. It was a struggle for us. We came back after COVID, and the first day of school, I had 38 first-year freshmen, sophomores enrolled in university. And I had 97 kids. And I went to my nonprofit board president, and I said, Bob, I want to start a third team. Bold and audacious. Decision was, buy a perimeter, we just got a new building, buy a perimeter from Andy Mark, or start a third team. Let's play the long game. What's going to be most important from our program? Andy Mark Field sure is nice. But if I start a third team, those freshmen will be seniors in 3 years. What are they going to be for me? What experiences are they going to take out the door? In 4 years, we've graduated 142 seniors. This year, I had 45 people in 2-4-6-8, and I graduated 32 seniors. Last year, I had 39 in 2-4-6-8, and I graduated 31 seniors. So every year, 2-4-6-8 is basically graduating 2/3 or 3/4 of our membership. We're maintaining success on the field and off the field, and it absolutely is because of the A-team model. What we call the A-team. Team Alpha is our beginning. That's our freshmen, sophomores. They're required to be in my class. They work with me every day. We teach them basic engineering skills. They learn things. They're competing in a tournament today. This year's incoming Alpha, for me, incoming freshmen, new sophomores, new juniors are competing at McNeil High School in Austin, Texas today with last year's robots. Before school even starts, they're getting a head start on the experience. You think I'm winning some kids over to the game? Student experience is about them having things to own, do, and experience. Team Apprentice is there as well. And the ones coaching both those teams are my team of Appreciate kids. So we started the 3 teams. Now we're on our third year. I'll give you a quick synopsis of what our teams are here. Team Appreciate's our veteran team, our most successful team. That's the one we focus on. I take my most advanced skills students and work on that team. If they're a sophomore, ex-basketball coach, take your best athletes and put them on which team? The most advanced team, right? The top doesn't push down, the bottom pushes up. The more you make the bottom better, the better the top gets. Visiting with Michael a while ago. How many teams does he have? 1678. How many teams does Central Circus have? Anybody favorite guess? Dave, how many teams does he have? 1. You say 1. I say no, that's not true. He has a farm club. Let's compare him to a Major League Baseball team. How many robots did y'all build the last year you were Central Circus in a year?
Probably 7, I think.
All 7 robots built with the same group of students or different groups?
Definitely not.
So you had 7 teams.
How about at Madtown? Madtown is like, what, 4 teams?
Yeah. So Michael's got a farm club going. He's building robots and owning experiences in the off season for those younger kids. You want to know why they're on Einstein 10 years in a row? Personally, I think that's a big factor. If you have 50 kids, can you put 10 of them in a robot or a think back to your very first match. Was it intimidating? What was the game? You soccer rush? Okay. How about here? What was the game?
Stronghold.
Huh?
Stronghold.
Stronghold. Was it loud behind the glass? Was it hard to see things?
Yep.
Travis? Was catching that ball fun?
Oh, it was, yeah, 2014.
Was it stressful?
Yeah.
People in the stands don't realize how fast it is and what it's like. But once they get there, they're going to do one of two things. Sign me back up because I want to be there again, or let those other people do that. Own their experience. It's perfectly okay to say, that's not for me. You want kids to do that. You want them to say, I want this, or you want kids to say, I don't like that. That's perfectly okay. But giving them that opportunity is really critical. And it's not about the robot. I say, we won 5 blue banners this year. Very fortunate. That's what Blue Alliance is. I have 32 blue banners this year. 32 seniors walked out my door. They're my blue banner. That's my focus. Winning, losing, it's all part of it. Jacob Davis, one of our mentors, was on a team in New Jersey. I asked my mentors before I came up here, I said, give me a 1 or 2 sentence description of what you think about first and what you think about our program. Jacob's opening line was, first works. Did we hear that today? He said, I never won a playoff game in my entire 4-year varsity career. He said, but what it did do was it opened the door, a big, bright, shiny door that I didn't get to walk through. I ran through it because it opened up a world of opportunity and experiences for me. I never thought of that. He's working for a company there in Austin, and his day job now is designing an apparatus that's going to go on the moon in 3 years. Prior to this, he worked at Electronics. He was building humanoid robots at the University of Texas startup program. And he's one of my mentors. He said he wouldn't be doing what he is today if it wasn't for first. It wasn't about winning a match. Your definition of success is different than my definition of success, different than the definition of success of Miss Daisy, different from Hilltoppers, different from Neutrons, different from Robolancers, different from Morpheus. Everybody's definition is totally different. I think it's critical as mentors, you define what success is. For Team Alpha, Team Alpha's definition of success, they're going to build every bot. They're going to be one of the first 3 robots inspected at every tournament. That sounds rather silly. Our goal is to have the first 3 robots inspected at every tournament. Scott Ripito with Texas Tour, guess what he uses as motivation now? He comes to my pit and cheers when his team beats us for inspection. So the expectations I place on my kids and what we want to do, which is just really a fun little milestone for us, is become a huge motivator by another team. Is that impact? they do those things, guess what happens? They're playing at the state championships in Texas. One of the top 82 teams in Texas, 3 years in a row. Great experience. Is it a competitive advantage for me for the future? Yeah, for sure. You're going to take a picture or slide or write something down. This is the one to take right here. This is Art of Pixar. Toy Story. Monsters, Inc. This comes from them. Those are the 6 things you got to do. I don't care what they are or how they are. Anybody have a birthday today? No? Yesterday? You got a birthday? What's your name? Greg. Greg? I want to do one of our team traditions, just for you. Just for you. There's nothing you have to do. Everybody else, I'm sorry you have to hear this miserable. This is something silly we do, but it makes something special. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Greg, I got something on my throat today. Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, Greg! Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you! Our kids race to see who can post in Slack happy birthday to somebody at midnight. And they know in the building the next day, guess what they're going to get? My beautiful voice. Student experience, create trust, create connection, create buy-in. We have a team meal every Saturday. We're more than a team, we're a family. Because families do what? They eat meals together. We have a team meeting every tournament. Every night of the tournament, we have a team meeting. Sometimes too long. On the first night of every tournament, our Impact Chairman's team presents the Impact presentation to the entire team in our team meeting. That's an expectation. It's a given. It's going to happen. We ask the question every day, every tournament, every morning, every night. Are we better today than we were yesterday? If the answer is yes, it was success. So student experience is about little bitty things and trying to incorporate these right here as much as possible. It's really, really key and critical. So who's your audience for these topics? Your students first, your school admin, your sponsors, your mentors, your parents. Focus on those 12 words with those groups in any simple way as many times as possible, and it will happen. Student experience is not something you sneak up on. It's very intentional. I'm very, very transparent. Before I started a third team, I talked to my kids on an everyday basis for 3 weeks. Andy Markfield costs this much. Here's what it costs us to be a third team. Here's how many kids will take the tournament. Are you juniors and seniors ready to teach these younger kids? Are you ready for them to wear your jersey at the tournament? Are you ready to them to represent you? We talk about those things all the time. We talk about getting 3 teams to state champs. We talk about all 3 teams playing after lunch on Saturday. We talk about the first 3 teams getting their sticker for inspection. We talk about those things. We're very, very intentional in our conversation. Students will own it and live up to it. Got to create trust. If your students don't trust you, you're not going to have that connection. If you don't have that trust, that connection, they're not going to do the things that you sports stars and professional athletes are their models of inspiration, your high school kids are the models of inspiration. I'm going to close with this. Seth Godin said, people never believe what you tell them. They rarely believe what you show them. Sometimes they believe what their friends tell them. They always believe what they tell themselves. Our role as mentors is to create new stories in their head. Stories that they can do it. Stories to be brave, to take a chance and maybe mess up. Take a chance on doing something wrong to learn that that's one way not to do it. What did we learn in the experience? Helping people tell stories within themselves helps them grow and believe in themselves more. I think that's our role and our goal as mentors. Student experience starts with you. As a teacher, I cannot do what I do if I didn't have my mentors, because I don't have to be the expert. And if you're a professional mentor in this room, the teachers in this room are very, very thankful for you and could not reach the kids that they do. Don't think the ones that you're coming, the things you're doing is not making a difference. Hard work, patience, persistence in the process. If you show up and do the work, are good things going to happen? It may not be what you wanted, but if you show up and do the